So the Olympics are here, and I always love seeing what shoes and spikes that the athletes are wearing. One of the most popular is the Dragonfly. I remember back in college, I was racing the 5K at Azusa, and I cut my cooldown short so I could go back and watch the pros heat, and I remember seeing some of the Nike athletes wearing this weird looking spike. Years later, Nike would release that spike and it'd be known as the Dragonfly. But let's go ahead and take a step back and look at the evolution of the Dragonfly from the 2016 Olympics all the way up to today, the Paris Olympics, with the Dragonfly 2 Elite. So back at the 2016 Rio Olympics, people noticed that the spike that Galen Rupp was wearing looked just a little bit different. The upper and spike plate were the same as the Mutombo 3, but the midsole definitely looked different. It looked thicker. Definitely much thicker than the other spikes that Nike offered at the time. Fast forward to 2017 and Nike announces the Vaporfly 4% and the Vaporfly Elite with the groundbreaking ZoomX foam. Around this time, we also started to see more athletes wear the thicker custom spikes that Galen wore to Rio. These spikes again used the Mutombo 3 upper and spike plate. They utilized ZoomX in the midsole, and they even got the arrow heel design that we saw on the Vaporfly. It appears there may have been an additional plate sandwiched in the midsole as well. Because of this, people dubbed this shoe the Mutombo 4%. With the Mutombo 4%, Nike was going against the norm at the time, which was stripping down spikes to be more and more minimal so that they could be the lightest they could be. But Nike knew by adding the lightweight energetic ZoomX foam, they could have a spike that was more comfortable for the athlete during their 25 laps around the track, but also give them that extra bounce and energy return. Essentially, they wanted to start taking their learnings from the Vaporfly and start making the Vaporfly of the track. In 2018, we move on to the third generation of what will become the Nike Dragonfly. So now with this iteration, they took the Mutombo 4% and started playing around with the spike plate. An early prototype had 3 printed spikes and spike plate that extended into the midsole and used the Mamba 5 upper. The second iteration of this prototype still used the Mamba 5 upper and the full-length spike plate, but added non-removable metal spikes. So in 2019, we were just a year away from the planned 2020 Tokyo Olympics, and Nike was starting to finalize their new Super Spike. We started to see samples utilizing an upper that looks very similar to what became the production version of the Dragonfly. However, it didn't have the Achilles cutout. The plate also started to look closer to the final release version and included removable spikes for the first time. So in 2022, we finally saw the release of the spike Nike had been working on for the past 4 years, and that is the official production version of the Dragonfly. So fast forward another 4 years, and this year in 2024, we got to finally see the sequel to the Dragonfly 2, which Nike released in May with a handful of updates. The first tweak was the ZoomX formula itself. They used a newer manufacturing method that makes it a little lighter and bouncier, similar to what they did with the ZoomX and the Alphafly 3. Next, they added a few more millimeters to the base of the spike in the heel and midfoot to give it a wider, more stable platform. To save weight, they removed some of the pins, going from a 6 spike setup to a 4 spike setup. The main change to the upper was a better lockdown in the heel. In a surprising move, just a couple months after releasing the Dragonfly 2, we saw Nike release the Dragonfly 2 Elite. They had a very quiet, very limited sale of 100 pairs of the prototype colorway. And this was to make the shoe legal for competition at the Olympics, since they couldn't use development shoes for World Athletic rules. The upper of the Dragonfly 2 and Dragonfly 2 Elite are pretty much identical, but the biggest difference comes to the midsole and the spike plate. The ZoomX formula is similar to the regular Dragonfly 2, but instead of a composite plate, it uses a full-length carbon fiber plate. The spikes are non-removable on the Elite version, but are made out of a higher quality material to make them more durable. The pins are attached to the plate with a composite material that also helps add a little extra traction. So it seems like Nike's starting to release a new version of the Dragonfly 2 every 4 years with the Olympics, but with the Dragonfly Elite 2, maybe they'll mix it up. They just recently, this week, quietly released a batch of the Dragonfly 2 Elite in the electric Paris cheetah looking colorway too, which I was surprised to see. Will they continue to release more colorways of the Dragonfly 2 Elite? Who knows? But I have a feeling we probably won't see many more wide releases of it until 2025, if I had to guess. But this also brings up another question. Will there be a Dragonfly 3 and a Dragonfly 3 Elite? Or will the Dragonfly 3 get the technology from the Dragonfly 2 Elite, like the carbon plate? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I hope you're a shoe nerd like me and enjoyed walking through the development of the Nike Dragonfly. I do have some more videos similar to this, like one for the Vaporfly, and I have more planned. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on running.